Hello students, today we'll study the poem Lake Isle of Innisfree by William Butler Yeats from CBSE Class 9 English NCERT book Beehive. Let me tell you about W.B. Yeats. William Butler Yeats was of English origin, but he loved Ireland and thought of himself as an Irishman. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1923 and is referred as the greatest Irish poet. Now, let me give you the overview of this beautiful poem. The Lake Isle of Innisfree. This is one of his famous works and is a lyrical poem. It gets its title from a very small uninhabited island in Ireland, which is poet's hometown, and he has very sweet memories of that place. In the poem, the poet longs to leave the city and go to a peaceful and a small island in the middle of a lake called the Lake Isle of Innisfree. He wants to escape the harshness of modern world. He wants to live by himself in a serene place and wishes to be close to nature while enjoying the soothing environment of countryside. Now we'll begin with the poem The Lake Isle of Innisfree by W.B. Yeats. I'll arise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there, of clay and wattles made. 9 bee rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the wheels of the morning to where the cricket sings. Their midnights all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening full of linnets' wings. I will arise and go now, for always night and day I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. While I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey, I hear it in the deep heart's core. I hear it in the deep heart's core. So, have a look at the word meanings. First one is arise, which means stand up. Cabin, room. Wattles means twisted sticks for making fences or walls. Glade, clearing or open space. Bee loud refers to the sound made by the buzzing of the bees. Wheels means a piece of fine material worn by women to protect or hide the face. Cricket is an insect related to the grasshoppers but with shorter legs. The male produces a characteristic musical chirping sound. Linnet is a small brown and a grey bird with a short beak. Glimmer means something which is shining. Night and day, all the time, lapping, striking, heart's core, the innermost part of the heart. Let's start the explanation part. The Lake Isle of Innisfree by William Butler Yeats. Here, isle means a small island, and Innisfree is the name of a place. See the first line. I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree. Here I is the poet. He wishes to get up and go to Innisfree. So, in the very first line, he has shown his intention that he wants to escape from city life and move to Innisfree, that is a peaceful place, and a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. So there he will build a small cabin, which means a house, of clay and wattles. Wattles means small sticks. 9 bee rows will I have there, a hive for the honeybee. The poet will have 9 rows of bean plants near his house, as he will need some food also. A hive for the honeybee. The poet also desires to have a home for honeybees in his garden and live alone in the bee-loved glade, which means the poet wants to live alone in the small house which is amidst nature, where he can hear the sound of bees buzzing in the glade, which means open space. Then the poet says, and I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow. He says that he will have peace in Innisfree. He expects that he'll have harmony there. Dropping from the wheels of the morning to where the crickets sing. It means peacefulness comes when the morning is filled with mist, which comes slowly and gradually. It seems morning is wearing a veil to hide itself. The poet can hear the sound of crickets in the morning, and this sound will bring him to peace. Then he says, their midnights all a glimmer, and a noon a purple glow. Here the poet can see a glimmer, a shine of light on the far shore at midnight, as the sky shines with moonlight and stars. Further, the poet describes the shine from the sun that looks purple. He feels relaxed in the peaceful afternoon. Then he says, and evening full of the linnet's wings. The poet also finds the sky full of birds. Linnets here means birds. In the evening, and enjoys their beautiful sound. In the last stanza, the poet says, I will arise and go now, for always night and day. The poet again expresses his heartfelt desire to get up and go to Innisfree and stay there for many days and nights. I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. The poet feels elated when he hears the sound of the lake water lapping by the shore. Then he says, while I stand on the roadway or on the pavements grey. It means whenever the poet stands on the road or grey pavements, pavements here means footpaths, in the city where he lives, and here grey color symbolize negativity. So he says, I hear it in the deep heart's core. So what does he hear? He strongly thinks about Innisfree deep in his heart. This sound is heard in his heart. So students, the theme that revolves throughout the poem is nature. Nature brings tranquility and harmony to man, and he should be close to nature. However, instead of physically going there, the narrator completely imagines it in his mind. It helps him to relax and escape the rush of modern life. Have a look at the poetic devices. First is rhyme scheme. In the poem, the rhyme scheme is AB, AB. Next is alliteration. The repetition of a consonant sound in two or more closely laced words is called alliteration. The instances of alliteration in the poem are hive, honeybee. Here, H sound is repeated. Next one is lake, lapen and low. You can make out very easily that L sound is repeated here. Then repetition. I will arise and go now is repeated in stanza 1 and 3. Then is personification. Morning is personified in the poem. Then metaphor. Clouds are compared to wheels. So students, we have learned that we should be proud of the natural heritage and preserve nature. Thank you.